Hey all, Shots here. Making some nice pasta here tonight. This might be a little bit too much water. Yeah, I'm just gonna dump a little bit of that out. We're gonna be making a little bit of pasta tonight. We got a pot of water. Got some, that's not it. Got some rotini over here. I just went shopping for some delicious food. We're gonna be using rotini. Pop this bad boy up too high, and right, we still got it. We still got more of this wonderful, wonderful Gatorade lemon lime mix. Thirst quenching. Now, I don't know how much water we really have in here, and I also don't really know what the ratio is. You might remember this is a common theme from last time. So just going to kind of take a scoop of it. You know, a good scoop. I guess I wasn't really filming it right there, but you know, good scoop, maybe not quite fully. And we're just gonna dump that in the water, and we're gonna mix it around a little bit and see what we can get. We don't have any forks. That's gonna cause an issue, all right. We use a wooden spoon, because wooden spoons are really good for stirring pasta. Oh shit, and instantly you'll notice that was very, very vigorous stirring. We're gonna have to tone that down a little bit. And honestly, I'm not sure how much of a good mixing we're gonna get going on here. It seems to be very clumped in the bottom already. And it doesn't really seem to be that much Gatorade, so we're gonna add a little bit more onto there. We're just gonna take another good scoop or so. And so I think you might have worked out by this point what exactly I'm doing. We're going to be making rotini pasta with Gatorade instead of water. I guess it still is kind of water. Gatorade contains water, but I'm not going to go into the semantics of it. You can kind of believe whatever you want at this point. We're just going to get like a nice mixing going on there. You can kind of see it's turning a nice lemon lime green. Nice neon green right there. And it actually shows up as much more vivid in the camera. It's just kind of a dead green in my eyes, but I think it looks a lot nicer on camera actually right now. Still a little bit of powder on the bottom, but I mean, you're always going to get that when it comes to Gatorade, right? Let's just go and add a little bit more of a scoop. So this will probably bring us up to around 2 total scoops worth, maybe a little bit more. I'm just going to dump that in there, and that should be plenty. That's just going to be good. We're just going to mix that up in there while this is heating up. I'm not entirely sure whether or not this will actually work, or this will just ruin the pot. I mean, pots are pretty expensive, so that's kind of a risk with this, but you know, when it comes to culinary arts, you've got to be willing to take risks. That's one of the important things that I've learned in my lifetime. So we're going to be taking a risk here today, and I'm going to be taking a very big risk. Not really. And it looks like Gatorade. It also kind of looks like chicken soup. So, you know, that's going to be kind of interesting to see where it's going to go. And I'm just going to leave this to boil, and then we will pop back in after that. And we're back. So here we got the pasta water all boiling up. It's been a couple of minutes later. And normally when I boil pasta, I go for like, you know, either a full bowl, so I've got some for later on, because, you know, pasta obviously grows. Or I just cook off an entire box so I can have a couple of extra meals, you know, just kind of waiting in the wings anytime that I want. But I figure in this case, given my past record for cooking with these ingredients, I'm probably not going to want much more of this if I'm going to finish the meal at all. Last time I didn't really finish the Soylent Gatorade, so that was kind of a flop, even though I said I would totally finish it. But speaking of Soylent, what would a pasta dish be without a nice sauce? And I picked up some wonderful Alfredo sauce, very generic, or maybe I did spring for a nicer one. Alright, well that's going to be a bit of an issue. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to set that right there, and set this right here, and hopefully that'll work. Just gotta pop that open. Cool. And then we're just gonna pour some of that in here. Don't need too much, since, again, this is only going to be 1 portion worth of pasta. That's a nice amount. And then Need to open something up. That's right, we're gonna pour a little bit of Soylent in here. Not sure where it's gonna go really, but... Oh shit. That was way more than I intended. Okay, so we are gonna have to indeed add some more Alfredo sauce. This was a mistake. Oh! Alright, we'll roll with it though. We'll roll with it because that's one of the most important parts about being in a kitchen, is realizing when you have messed up and then kind of going forward anyway. Excuse me while I use my hand to open this bag and pour a little bit of something back in. And then we will just mix the rest of it up. Because we have made this bed, and now we have to lay in it. Kind of looks like, well, I mean, it looks like Alfredo sauce. Maybe a mix with cottage cheese. But, I mean, you know, that looks edible. That doesn't look too bad. We're just going to pop this on the stove, assuming that Soylent does not burn a hole in this. Again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that people do this at home, but... And then you'll also notice over here we got the nice purple effect going on with the burning down there. That's kind of cool. Same as it happened on my electric stove at my actual home. So it's kind of nice to see almost like a callback there. And then, I mean, the pasta is just sort of boiling over as it ever was. So we're just going to pop back in when everything's ready to go. Right, the perfect time. We're about to... Oh, how am I going to do this with one hand? I guess we'll kind of wing it. Alright, so just got to get this pot. Okay. We're going to go live here. And we're just going to take this and we're going to pour it in. And I'm going to be interested to see how exactly this turned out. I can't really talk exactly because of the phone lodged between my chin and my chest. But I'm interested to see exactly what color this is going to be. If it's going to be stained from the Gatorade powder or not. I know that the Alfredo sauce is actually very red. It doesn't quite show up on camera, but it actually is fairly orange now. Which is weird because, you know, Soylent's white, so... Yeah, no, it just kind of looks like pasta. That's disappointing. I was kind of hoping to be like stained neon green, but maybe I should have added more Soylent in that case. In any case, here's the bowl. We're just going to plop a little bit of that in. Not too much, because this is a very shallow bowl. Yeah, that looks fine. We'll have the rest later with some non-awful setup. And then, now for a little bit of the sauce. It still smells very creamy, very Alfredo-y, which is, that's a good sign. Right, now it's time for the ultimate taste test. First, we'll just go with kind of a one lone solitary noodle without anything on it, and we'll see how it is. Kind of tangy. I don't think I use enough Gatorade. I mean, it's like a little bit noticeable, but it's nothing like fantastic. It's just like a very slight tang. Like if you gave this to someone, like a house guest, it might be like, do something different with the pasta, but I don't really think they'd notice. They wouldn't be able to name what it is. They'd probably be a little bit, they'd notice it, but they wouldn't know what it is. Very thick sauce. Funnily enough, for how much Soylent I put in there, the Soylent itself probably has more calories in it than the pasta itself. Although, considering it's a cream sauce, the cream sauce itself probably has more calories than the pasta. I'm not a nutritionalist, though, so pay no attention to my claims. As with the Soylent pizza, it's creamy and tangy. Creamy from the sauce, and I guess a little bit from the Soylent, and tangy from the pasta, in a way that really shouldn't happen. I know I say this with everyone so far, but, I mean, it's not horrible. It's just, eh. It's like Alfredo pasta is a very big passion of mine. But this is just kind of, eh. It's just ever so slightly off. Just enough off to not make me really want to eat it. I'm probably going to eat it anyway because I'm very hungry, and then this is just kind of the limit for the amount I'm willing to cook for tonight. But I will not enjoy it. So that's Shap signing off. Probably the last thing I'm going to do with Gatorade and Soylent. Looking forward to expanding a little bit. Let's go see what 2017 can bring us.